Greetings YouTube, and welcome back to another Minecraft Let's Play in Le.Monde.Du.VAPEUR with me, Vitaly Vapour. Now if you were with me last time, you would have seen that we completed the crane cable that leads all the way from the top of the crane there down to the bottom of the slime farm. And now this time we're going to look to add a couple of finishing touches. So without further ado, let's get cracking, because we've got some pretty lofty ambitions for this episode. So first start here, let's just make sure we got some food on us, which we do. We want to go ahead and add down some grey wool here and here, and we're going to be finally adding the legs to this platform. As I mentioned in the last episode, it's been, of course, you can't add okay, going to be a little bit difficult using cobblestone wall, I can see, but not impossible. But yeah, as I say, in the last episode I mentioned that it's a bit embarrassing that these have obviously been designed to be walking a sort of Howl's Moving Castle style walking platform, and we've not actually added any legs to it yet. So that's the aim of this episode, is to get these legs added on. So I'm kind of thinking of going for this sort of style where it's a mixture of grey wool and cobblestone in a sort of pattern. If we concentrate on doing one, I'll probably look to complete the other ones off camera. So if we bring it out like that, and then again across, I would say, and we can start looking at adding a few extra joints into these legs. So again, we probably want to be looking at coming across, sort of making this up as we go along, guys. Haven't really planned this one too much ahead. I know exactly how I want to make the feet and what material those are going to be, but at the moment, other than that, no real big plans. So as I say, I've been working out that I want to use this combo of cobblestone walls and the grey wool in this texture pack, just because it has that really metallic quality, and I know what else I do want to be doing, which if we can get a block placed in the right direction, I will be going ahead and doing. There we go, good catch. Let's ditch these, and it's about adding in every so often just these little bits of birch wood, because of how it looks with the fact that it makes it look like there's a hinge there. So if we drop down here, aim for the underside, there we go, and we're gonna perfect, go back into crouch mode, don't catch that block of dirt, standard stuff there. We'll take that one away as well. Again, didn't catch it, nothing new there. And if we add another bit of cobblestone, we're gonna start replicating exactly what we've already built. So again, trying to master, there we go, that sort of like half catch technique. Got plenty of dirt on me this time though, unlike last time where I set out with nowhere near enough scaffolding. And then we will pass through there, hopefully. So it's about trying to replicate up, but we're going to be too high up, aren't we? Perfect. Not so good. Whoops. Okay. One, two. So literally just replicating that same wall design. So after it goes two that way, it goes two that way, and you end up with some grey wall there. And then we need to drop down again. Luckily we've got another shovel on us, so if we come around here, lots and lots of soil, pick it all up, and hopefully from down here with some skillful nerd poling and jumping abilities, I'm wondering if we can actually hit that from down here. Easy. Right. Let's nerd pole up. So when doing these larger builds in survival, I think it's always good to have an abundance of dirt block on you. They're so useful for these, for scaffolding out your designs. So that's 1, 2, and then onto the side of that. Tight angle, but we're going to nail that. There we go. 1, 2, and then block to the underside. We just need to see, is that literally it? Is that going to be our 1, 2, down, down, down? So let's just careful not to drop down too many. We still want to be able to get to the underside of all of this. Perfect. And again, if we bang, 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 there we go. We're down onto the ground, and we're now looking at placing in all of these blocks. Nice. And then I'm going to place a dirt block in there. I can be a bit stingy with my materials at times, but honestly guys, you're never going to see that that's the block that's in there. So by the time we build these feet out, and then around to here to complete the design. You can see they're like these huge stamping feet. Let's move our way back a bit. So there we have it. There is our legs. I wanted to keep them quite thin and spindly, very much like the Howl's Moving Castle design. And I will now replicate that leg on all 4 sides of this build. And when I come back, we'll be adding some more finishing details to the outside of the crane build with a look at having it finished. So I shall see you all shortly. Welcome back guys. Well, I've now finished all 4 legs, and as you can see, I've got the front feet hanging over the edge of the slime farm just as I wanted, and I've changed the legs on this side ever so slightly to make them a ever so slightly wider stance, just to make sure it landed on this bit of land here without me having to add any further additional dirt blocks. And just to add a bit of interest as well, so that when you approach it, it's not too uniform. It actually looks like it walked over to the edge of the slime farm, and that's where it stops. So the legs on the left hand side, as we look at it from here, are ever so slightly further off than the legs on the right hand side. You can just see that in the distance. There's about 2 blocks, I think it is, that they're out by. but that means that both these feet end right on the edge of the slime farm, and I've adjusted the feet slightly to make it look like they've clawed their way round. So now we're going to look at just adding a couple of other finishing touches. So I'm going to show you what I'm going to do to each front elevation. I want to add a hanging platform and a hanging torch. So coming up to this first layer here, we're going to chop out these 2 blocks, and we are going to add hanging torches. So we're going to hang ourselves out like so, and directly off of that top block there, if we put these slabs away for a sec, we want these dark oak logs, so taking care to be looking directly at the end. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. We probably want to come out only 3, I would say, and then we're going to look to put 1, 2, and then if we place a dirt block below there, that means we can then place this jack-o'-lantern. You can then get rid of that dirt block, and then you just want to stand not quite enough distance back yet again. So very quickly, you have to come out of crouch mode in order to be able to close these off. And then that is us. So if we... Perfect. Now you can't place one on the bottom, unfortunately, but I think that looks fine in this texture pack. So we'll replicate that same detail around the back, but for the minute what we're going to do now is go up, not to this stone floor, but to the next roof up. So once you're into here, I've already placed the torch to mark out whereabouts I'm wanting to come out to. The good thing about this one is I don't need the stone block in the same way. I can just take these 2 out, and then again we're going to look to go out quite a few. Perfect. And then 1. Make sure to be crouching as always. Don't want any nasty accidents. Now you want to be careful that you've gone out more than 1 more block than this projecting wall here. Otherwise, as we drop this down, it will connect onto those stairs below, and that's not something we want it to be doing. So if we come round to here and we just look at the underside of this, we're going to drop 1, 2. Let's try and get another one, 3, and whoops, okay, and then we can do the rest of it from nerd poling up. So let's quickly grab something to eat. And say again, I will be replicating this same detail off the back, which I will do off camera. Let's get our way up there first though. Lots of dirt, nerd pole our way up as always. We probably don't need planks anymore, but we will need dark oak slab. We may have been able to come down 1 more actually without it joining on, but I don't know, it might have been dangerously close actually, mightn't it? Ooh. Not good aim there, guys. Not good aim. Let's try and get a block there. No, we don't have enough room to jump up there, unfortunately. So we are gonna work our way around from the side here. There we go, and then we should be able to just look at the edge here. 1, 2, 3. Perfect. And then if we make our way back, smash out this nerd pole, see if this shovel holds. Look at that, guys, on the last block. And luckily we got yet more shovels. Now we want to ensure we got some brown wool. Perfect. I'm going to use jungle wood doors here, and we're going to place them on the inside. That's so from the outside they're set in, which always gives a more dramatic look to your builds. So if we go into crouch mode here, get rid of those slabs for a sec, get your brown wool out, maybe look to place a dirt block there, one there, and then we're on this platform, and then we just want to chuck down brown wool in this texture pack because it looks like basically looks like storage crates, I think. So if we bash those two away, put that back, we need to add these back on, which I seem to remember were around in that direction, so that's going to prove a little bit difficult. So if we cut our way in, that's not the way around they were. Perfect. Grab that block back. Get your torch back. Always need light in here. And then that door there is just so you can literally just look out here. Again, from the outside, if we quickly run round, I'll show you what that looks like, and then I'll replicate the same detail on the front of the build off camera, and again we'll just fade away and come back. So as you can see, we're sort of adding on just a few extra bits of detail. I like how that's looking. So we've got some like storage platforms looking like we're taking items up to the top floor there. I'll probably add that same lantern onto the next floor up. So when we come back, guys, that will be what's occurred. So I will see you shortly. Welcome back, guys. Now, as you can see, I've finished adding my finishing touches to the crane build. So that is this complete. So we have the 4 legs as finished before. You can see we've added the platforms on for the lanterns, which are covered in the standard wood trapdoors in this texture pack. Simple common Minecraft build trick there to make hanging lanterns, but with the added bonus in the Steampunk texture pack that they actually get a gold texture. I've put a torch at the end of each of the projecting oak elements, the beams, just to make sure no mobs spawn on top. And then we've obviously got the hanging platforms there, which have the brown wool crates on them. So if we go round to the front of the build, we've replicated that same detail. Obviously we don't have a high level lantern up here because of the crane operating room, and you can probably see I've also gone round and added on some standard cobblestone and stone half slab chimneys. These are very similar to the ones I actually did on the storage room build. That is a build that I need to return to, actually, the storage room. We've sort of been sidetracked here building the immense slime farm because I realised I needed some sticky pistons in order to build a self-sorting system. So I think in the next episode I'm going to start putting in the platforms and the mob grinder for the slime farm, because then we're going to grind the mobs somewhere embedded in the wall there and item elevate them up to somehow maybe inside of here, or maybe we'll do some sort of like secret silo beneath this. So all that's left to say is thank you very much for joining me, guys, and I hope to see you all next time. And until then, goodbye.